Welcome to our tutorial on F-string in Python programming. In today's video, we're going to dive into F-string in Python. Before I begin, please take action now, subscribe to this channel, and hit the like button. Let's get started. In Python, an F-string is also called formatted string literal. It is a concise and convenient way to embed expressions and variables within a string. It allows you to create strings with embedded values by placing the expressions or variables inside curly braces within the string. F strings are prefixed with the letter F before the opening quote. Let's look at some examples of F string. Here I have a program that basically is something that we're all familiar with already, if you've watched my previous videos. If you're not familiar with this code here, please go back and watch all of my previous videos before I made this one. So here I'm assigning 45 to a variable called temperature. And in line 2, I'm just printing it is currently whatever the temperature is, which is 45. So temperature here will be replaced with the number 45 and then the word degrees. So if I run this, you will see exactly that. It is currently 45 degrees. Now, we can write this in another way using F-string. F-string, I think it's a lot simpler. So I'm just going to type another way of coding the same program, but using F-string. So line 1 and line 4 is basically the same. We're assigning 45 to the variable called temperature. But line 5 and line 2, there is a difference here. In line 5, I started my text here with the letter F, and that signifies that this is an F string. I'm coding this print statement using an F string. And F, single quote, it is currently, and then look at temperature. Temperature is enclosed in curly braces. The thing about line 5 that's different than line 2, other than starting line 5 with F string here, is that I don't need the single quote and the comma. See, I don't have a single quote and comma before the word temperature. Instead, I will have curly braces encircling the word temperature. And then I don't have to code also a comma and a single quote right after the word temperature. Now, if I run this quote here, you will see that I'm getting the same output. So line 1 and 2 will generate the output. It is currently 45 degrees. Lines 4 and 5 will generate the output called it is currently 45 degrees. So these two codes are the same, except this second code here, I used F string in my print statement instead of just the single quote and then with the single quote and comma or comma and single quote here. Instead, I didn't type in the comma and the single quote, but instead put braces around the variable temperature. So this is one of the way you can code using F string in your print statement. Let me give you another example here using F string. So here, first name equals to Sally, age is 23. Using F string, instead of having comma single quote and comma single quote here, I just put the variable in curly braces because I'm using F string here. And same with the variable age, I'm using, because I'm using F string, I can just use curly braces around the variable age. So if I run this, you will see, hello, my first name is Sally, and I'm 23 years old. Let's look at another example here using F string here. So first name equals to Sally. Profession is lawyer. Organization is ABC firm. And you can see here now I'm assigning F string to the variable employee underscore details. So I can do that. F string is not only used with the print statement, but I can also use it in this capacity here in this example. So you can see F double quote the employee is, again, first name, the variable is enclosed in curly braces, who is a profession, also enclosed in curly braces. And here you can need, if you have multi-line string, you need to place an F in front of each line of a multi-line string. So I have a comment statement here indicating that if you have a multi-line string, you need to put F string, the letter F in front of each of the line here. So I have another F string here, and then first name, which is the variable enclosed in curly braces, works at the organization, another variable that's enclosed in curly braces. So if I run this, you will see the employee is Sally, who is a lawyer. Sally works at the ABC firm company here. So now when line 9, when I print employee details, it will take all this information and generate an output that looks something like this. Another example I wanted to show you is this example here. The full name is John Doe, age 32, occupation teacher. Again, because this is a multi-line string here, I need to put F string in front of each line. And then there's a \n, that means a new line, right? \n means generating a new line. And then I'll just print employee details here. So if I run it, you will see that each of these lines here will be printed on a line of its own. So full name, and then whatever full name is, which is John Doe, the \n means a new line here. So the new line will generate a second line that says age is 32, and then a third line, occupation is teacher. You can see the entire program like here. Here is an example that shows how to use escape characters in F string. So I'm using this / here. And when I run it, you will see that this was a great film. Notice that great has single quote, right, surrounding it. And the way that I do it is that I have F string here, and then this was A, and I want the single quote to be before great and after great. In order for that to appear in my output, I need to use this escape character here, this \. And I have one more example to show you using F string in this capacity with variables. Here I have Sally assigned to first name, lawyer, profession, ABC, firm to organization, then have employees detail. You can see now there's our 3 double quotes here after the letter F. And then the employee is whatever the first name is, who is a profession. And then the first name works at whatever organization. So here you can just use one F string, even though there are multiple lines here, but I'm doing the 3 double quotes before the text here and after the text here. And then I'll just print employee details. So I can run this and you can see that it will generate the output that looks something like this. So this is an example that shows that, yeah, I can use 3 double quotes and end with 3 double quotes here using F string. Let's see, I can try single quote. Let's do 3 single quote here and end it with 3 single quote as well. And then let's run it. And the result looks the same. So you can either use 3 double quotes here or 3 single quotes here. Let's look at other ways we can use F string. Now, this is not using F string, and we just assign 10 to number. We're adding 10 plus 2, and then there will generate the result in total, and the sum is supposedly say 12 and a period after that. So when we run this, the sum is 12. So this is something we've learned before, but now let's take that and use it F string. So you can see line 3 and line 6. I'm using F string in line 6. In this curly braces, I can do the addition right here inside my curly braces. So you can see that this second code here only takes 2 lines. while the previous code here will take 3 lines to code. If you're doing the calculation inside this curly braces using F string, you do not need this line at all. So when I run this program here, the result will still be the same. The number is 12. But notice the period is a lot closer to the number 12 than when I have this program here that I showed you before. So let's run this again. You can see when using the F string, the period is closer to the 12, but here I'm not using F string and the period is further away from the 12. Let me show you another program here. Amount is 5,000. Payment equals to amount divided by 12. So when I run this, what I'm doing here is I'm formatting payment to 2 decimal places, and I'm using the F string for that. So let's run it, and you can see the payment is 416.67 because I am formatting it. 0.2 means 2 decimal place number, and then with the letter F after that because it's a float. If I say 0.3 and then I'll run it, you will see that I have 3 decimal places here. So we use F string for formatting purposes. And in this particular case here, we put the variable we want to format, which is payment, again in curly braces, a colon after that. So always a variable and a colon, and then the 0.3 or 0.2, depending on how many decimal places you want to format that appears in the output. And then we have a period at the end. All right, so if I don't have this, let's try if I don't have this, let's go ahead and run it. You can see I have a lot of decimal places. All right, so the colon with 0.2F means that when I run it, it will give me 2 decimal places. And if you want the dollar sign, you can just include the dollar sign here as so. So let's go ahead and run it. So you can see the dollar sign right there that I've added. Now let's go ahead and use the F string that includes the calculation right here. So if I do that, I don't really need this line, right? Because I'm doing the calculation inside my curly braces using the F string. So I don't really need this calculation. And then if I run it, you can see I will get the same result as we have done before, except I'm putting the calculation inside the curly braces, so I don't need this particular line here. Let's go ahead and run it again. And you can see the result here. So instead of coding 3 lines like in the previous program that I showed you, we only code 2 lines because the calculation is inside my curly braces at this time. Now, one thing you cannot do when you assign a variable is to put commas. If you have a very, very long number and you want to separate the very, very long number with commas, you cannot do this. You cannot assign a very long numbers and put commas in this number. Python will give you an error. Instead, what you can do is you can use F string to format this number here. So I assign this huge number to the variable number, and then I'm using F string, and I'm going to include comma. Do you see the comma here? So I'm going to include comma in the output of this very long number. So if I run it, you can see now I have commas here, separating the digits in this long number so it's easier to read. All right, another thing you can do if you want to format this to 2 decimal places, because right now I only have 1 decimal place number here. But if I want to format it to 2 decimal places, I need and include a comma here. I need to put in the variable, a colon. The colon is always part of the formatting here. So number, colon, and then comma, 0.2F. That means include a comma in this very long number here and just format it to 2 decimal places. So let's run this program here. You can see now I have commas in this very large number, and I have 2 decimal place here because I'm saying 0.2f. Now remember, the comma 0.2f, there's no spaces here, right? No spaces whatsoever. If you put, for example, a space here and you run it, then you know, then that'll be fine as well. But we don't want to have a space in between the comma and 0.2f. So if we run this, you will see that you'll get an error. So if we have a comma and a space and then the 0.2f, you'll get an error here. So just remember that after the comma, there should be no spaces between the comma and the period here. So when I run it, it will give me the output right here. And it's okay to have a space here. That'll be fine, because if I run it, that will work as well. That will work as well. But it's easier to just say, I'm not going to put any spaces at all. And if I run it, you can see that is the output. All right, let's move ahead and talk more about what we can do with F string. Here, I am just doing 0.1f. That means 1 decimal place, right? You can see here the number 20.123. I'm assigning to number. I'm printing the number here with no formatting, line 2. But line 3, I'm formatting using the F string to 1 decimal place number. And you can see I only have 1 decimal place number here. Now let's do this one here. This one, I'm including a %. And when I run it, you can see it's formatting it to 1 decimal place number with a % at the end. So I'm including a % at the end of the number. Let's do this one here and run it. Here, number is 1 divided by 7.0. So I'm dividing an integer, divide, the slash means divide, a float. And then I'm just printing the number using F string. So without any other formatting after the variable number, I'll just print the number, whatever the answer may be. And it's 0.0142 and so on and so forth. But line 3 here, I have an F string number, but I put down 0.2. 0.2 means it'll give me 2 decimal place number with a % at the end. Now let me talk about one more thing about using F string. We use F string sometimes to align text or justify the text. By default, the strings or text are justified to the left. The alignment of the output string is defined by a less than symbol here, a caret here, and a greater than symbol here. There are characters followed by the width. So this is followed by the width. This is a left align. If you want to left align a text, you'll put less than, and then this is the width. This one here, if you want to center align the text, you put a caret and then you have the width. You have a caret here. Kind of move the caret over. So let me just delete the 7 and put it after. So you have the caret here and the 7. And if you want to right align the text, it's a greater than symbol and then the width number after the symbol. So when I run this, you will see apples is left align. Because left align, I'm using the F string again. Left align, I assign apples to the variable left align. So I have here apples, but it is left align and it has a width of 10. So from maybe about here, apples to about here, it's about a width of 10. And then I'm centering align kiwi, and it has a width of 7. So kiwi is centered aligned, so maybe from here to here. 7 spaces here, and kiwi is center aligned. Then mango has a width of 20, but it's right aligned. So you can see a little bit clearer here if I code this program and run it. All right, you can see I assigned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So this is 10 digits here. And I have here print using fstring, the left align, which is a variable, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. I am saying left align it with a width of 10. So you can see here, right here, this is left align, and it has a width of 10. And then center align the word A, B, C, D, E. Center align, but a width of 5. So I have here center align A, B, C, D, E with a width of 5. And then RR for right align with just right align with just a width of 2. So RR will just have a width of 2. In summary, F-strings offer a powerful and concise way to create formatted strings in Python, providing a convenient syntax for embedding expressions and variables within strings. They simplify string interpolation and make the code more readable and maintainable. F-strings were introduced in Python 3.6 and have become a popular choice for string formatting in modern Python code. Thank you for joining us today. Please remember to subscribe to this channel and click the like button for more videos about Python. Come back and join us again. Until then, have fun coding.